So I think you all remember these things. In the first class we have done that, then few of the things that we did in the second class, and now we are on the verge of completion of this chapter. So any doubts in whatever we have done? Anything that we have not followed, you want me to repeat or something like that way, please do let me know, beta, so that I move ahead with the next content. No, na? Okay, fine. So we can go ahead with our next content, right? Okay. These things we have done already. I think we had discussed this chart. You had given me very good answers to this. मुझे याद है कि ये भी हमने किया हुआ था. I think this also we have done. Homothallic and heterothallic conditions we have done in the last class. किया था कि नहीं? I don't remember. Have we done? Or we are to do with this? यहाँ से start करना था कि ये हमने किया था?
I think we have to start from here.
यहाँ से start करना है ना? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Fine. Thank you, beta. Thank you so much. So we go ahead with this, that is sexuality in organisms. So this sexuality in organisms, when we try to understand the conditions with reference to plants and animals, it's going to be different. Okay, so there are different terms that are associated with plants and different terms associated with animals. So accordingly, the definitions would change. So accordingly, for plants what we say and for animals what we say is something that we're going to talk about. So we have got two conditions. One is going to be homothallic, or it's also called as monoecious condition. It is the bisexual conditions in fungi as well as plants. In this, both males and female reproductive structures are present in single individual. अब ये जो है ना बेटा, ये जो कंटेंट है इसमें मैंने शायद ये आपको पूछा था कि नहीं पूछा था कि एनी प्लांट विच इज हैविंग बाइसेक्सुअल कंडीशन, है ना? मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है कि ये मैंने आपको पूछा हुआ था. And you had given me, I think I even have gave you the example of animals में तुम लोग ने मुझे जो example बताया था that was hibiscus and I had discussed. Yeah, very right Akshay. I think ये हमने किया हुआ है. चलो anyways, let's quickly have a look at it because it's on your screen. Let us quickly have a look at it, no problem. So in this, what is the condition? The female reproductive structures and the male reproductive structures would be present in same organism. Such organism को हम homothallic कहते हैं या monoecious कहते हैं. And second is heterothallic or dioecious. So that is going to be, the sexes are going to be different. We'll have male as different individual and female as different individual. Now here, please remember these terms. On your screen you can see male flowers which are called as staminate. तो ये staminate flowers कहते हैं, ये आपको याद रखना है. You have to remember the name called as staminate. And those which are going to have only the pistils, or it's going to have only the female parts, is going to be called as pistillate. So stamen is a part of male flower, while pistil is a part of female flower. So when you try to understand this, do you know that stamen is made up of anther lobes? It's going to have filament. Yes, उसके structures हैं male flower के anther के. And ये जो anther है, it is responsible for maleness. So those flowers which are going to have only the stamens, we call such flowers as male flowers, or we call them as staminate. Right? Same goes with the pistil. Pistil का दूसरा नाम, the second name of pistil is carpel. CARPEL. It's also called as carpel. So carpel will have stigma, style, and ovary present in it. So when we'll be going ahead with morphology of flowering plants करके जो chapter है, when we'll go ahead with that, that time I'll tell you about the details about all these things, that what is the carpel, what are the different structures, how it is associated with flowering plants, ये सब हम तब देखेंगे. As of now, just remember the two specific terms associated with them, that is staminate and pistillate, right? Okay, then we go to the next one. That's going to be, yeah, I showed you this that monoecious plants के जो examples है, those all are cucurbits. And cucurbita are all your gourds. Gourds, G-O-D नहीं, मैंने बोला था G-O-U-R-D, gourds बोलते हैं हम उनको. That is bitter gourd. Bitter gourd मतलब करेला. Bottle gourd. Bottle gourd is लौकी या दूधी. In Marathi we call it दूधी, right? So bottle gourd, bitter gourd. Then even pumpkin comes under this. Even cucumber comes under this. So all the plants which are with whatever I said just now, they are going to be what? Monoecious. Okay? Yeah, they are homothallic as we said. On the other hand, dioecious plants, male plant अलग और female plant अलग. So papaya जो है उसका male अलग plant होता है और female अलग plant होता है. Date palm, ये देखिए ये जो है, this is a date palm. Date palm पता है आपको ना? You know what is date palm? I hope. नहीं पता तो ये जो डायग्राम और फोटोग्राफ है उससे समझ में आ जाएगा. फैन शेप का इसका स्ट्रक्चर्स होता है. ये देखो ये प्लांट का है ना. So these are dioecious. These are dioecious. Yeah. Then when we talked about sexuality in animals, that time we had seen the word hermaphrodite. Date palm is खजूर बेटा. खजूर को हम dates कहते हैं ना. So that is खजूर. Okay. तो जो अपनी भेलपुरी की जो चटनी होती है ना खजूर की, मीठी वाली, वो वाली. Okay. So sexuality in animals, same way as we say sexuality in plants, similarly sexuality in animals जब आता है, so animals having both male and female reproductive organs in the same organism. Example: tapeworm, earthworm, sponges, leech, etc. Okay. So tapeworm आपको पता है ये intestine में होता है. ये जो worms होते हैं वो intestine में होते हैं. बच्चों को कहते हैं ज्यादा मीठा नहीं खाना, वो वाली है. Okay. Earthworm तो we all know. Earthworm is going to be farmers' friends. Sponges जो होते हैं, they are specifically going to be found in water. Sponges are waterborne and they do not have specific assembly. मतलब उनका ऐसा कोई है ना specific shape, structure ऐसा नहीं होता है. They are sponges. Leech is something आपने सुना होगा leech के बारे में. Leeches are also going to be, you know, they are of very good medicinal use as well, because they are used in the treatment of skin problems. जहाँ जहाँ impure blood होता है, leech will always suck the impure blood. So that is about the leech. They all are hermaphrodites. मतलब क्या? A single organism which is having both the male as well as the female sex organs present in it. That is going to be your hermaphrodites or bisexual animals, as we say. Okay. Then unisexual animals are all of us. That is animals having only male or female reproductive organs. So we have got male cockroach, male insect, female insects, male birds, and so on. So जहाँ जहाँ male and female ये opposite sexes होते हैं अलग अलग individuals में, तो हम उसको unisexual animals कह देते हैं, right? Then we come to something that is called as haploid organism. Haploid का मतलब होता है having only one set of chromosomes. जैसे कि हमारे में कितने हैं? हमारे में 2 सेट्स है. One set of chromosome is going to be given by our mother and one set of chromosome will be given by our father. So mother के 23 और father के 23 मिलाकर we got 46 as a gift. Agreed? तो हमारे जो 46 है, how did we get 46 chromosomes in our cell का nucleus? So 23 from one parent, 23 from the other parent. So we all are called as diploid organism. 2 क्रोमोसोम के सेट्स होने पर हमें क्या कहा जाता है? डिप्लॉयड कहा जाता है. On the other hand, there are some lower organisms who are having only one set of chromosomes. Okay? तो ये जो only one set of chromosomes जिनके पास है, such organisms would be called as haploid organisms. Haploid, half the number. So the individuals having only one set of chromosomes in somatic cells are called as haploid. Monera, fungi, algae, bryophytes, they all are going to have haploid plant body. समझ में आ गई बात? तो यही भी शायद मैंने आपको लास्ट टाइम समझाया था कि मोनेरा आर गोइंग टू बी योर बैक्टीरिया. All bacteria belong to Monera, and all Monera are prokaryotic. They all are prokaryotic. मतलब क्या? They do not have a well-developed nucleus. They do not have a well-developed, cell organelles. Cell organelles क्या क्या होते हैं? Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies,
माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया,
ना लाइसोसोम्स, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया, ये सारी चीजें ये ऑर्गेनिजम्स में नहीं है. So those group of organisms would be called as prokaryotes, and Monera are the examples. आपने मुझे शायद लैक्टोबैसिलस बोला था. मोनेरा का मैंने आपको पूछा था कौन से बैक्टीरिया का नाम पता है क्या, एंड आई थिंक यू ऑल हैव गिवन मी द आंसर ऑफ लैक्टोबैसिलस. सो यस. फंगाई, यू नो व्हाट इज फंगाई? फंगाई इज एडिबल आल्सो. हम ईस्ट खाते हैं और मशरूम खाते हो आप. डू यू ईट मशरूम्स? डू यू लाइक टू ईट मशरूम्स? Mushrooms are very good for health actually. They should be eaten. So, जो mushrooms है ना बेटा, even they are the examples of fungi. Okay. Algae, I told you, algae are going to be generally present on the water surfaces. Water पे green color का mat बनाते हैं. Bryophytes are those, I told you, those are the moss जिसके ऊपर से आप फिसल जाओगे ना तो बहुत गंदा लगता है हमें, मतलब तगड़ा लगता है. तो वो स्लिपरी हो जाता है. ब्रायोफाइट्स हमने देखे थे लास्ट टाइम. आई थिंक आई हैड टोल्ड यू ऑल, वेल्स के बॉर्डर्स पे आ जाते हैं ब्रायोफाइट्स, या फिर आई टोल्ड यू ड्यूरिंग द मानसून नाउ दे विल फॉर्म. आई टोल्ड यू इन मराठी वी कॉल इट शेवाळ, राइट? तो ये जो ब्रायोफाइट्स होते हैं, इवन दे आर गोइंग टू बी हैप्लॉइड्स. On the other hand, the diploid organisms, the individuals which are having two sets of chromosome, or we say which have a pair of chromosome ka set in the somatic cells, would be called as diploid organisms. Pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Pteridophytes, I told you last class that those are the plants which generally are going to be your coniferous plants. Gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymnosperms are non-flowering. Even pteridophytes are non-flowering. The only flowering plants are angiosperms. And most of the animals are also going to be diploid organisms. In diploid organisms, the gamete forms by meiosis, right? I told you कि one's parent cell to 4 daughter cells is going to be meiosis. At the end of meiosis, haploid gametes are going to be formed. So what are formed at the end of meiosis? Haploid gametes are formed, right? Fine. And here we start with something called as pre-fertilization changes. Then we'll be talking about the actual fertilization and the post-fertilization changes in detail. So let us go ahead with the first one. That is gametogenesis, pre-fertilization. Pre-fertilization का मतलब है before the actual fertilization to be something कि वो बनाना ही पड़ेगा, उसके बगैर fertilization possible नहीं है. So that is going to be called as pre-fertilization. So the first for pre-fertilization is going to be gametogenesis. नाम से पता चल रहा है. Can anyone tell me the meaning of gametogenesis?
formation of gametes, male and female gametes.
Yeah, so that is going to be formation of gametes. Formation of haploid male and female gamete. Haploid male and female gamete. So we always know that the gametes are haploid. उनमें सिर्फ 23 क्रोमोसोम्स रहेंगे. मेल गैमीट में भी और फीमेल गैमीट में भी only 23 chromosomes would be present. So it is a process of formation of haploid male and female gamete. Gametes may be homogametes or they may be heterogametes. Now what do you mean by homogametes and heterogametes? इसको समझो. Homo means same. Hetero means different. So when I say homogametes or isogametes, okay, तो उसमें क्या होता है that the gametes which are present are morphologically, structurally and physiologically similar. What are the three things that I said? Three things जो मैंने बोले. First मैंने बोला morphologically, structurally and physiologically similar. ये तीनों चीजें जिनमें सेम हैं, ऐसे गैमीट को हम कहते हैं होमोगैमीट्स, या फिर हम इसको कहते हैं आइसोगैमीट्स. मॉर्फोलॉजिकली सिमिलर, मॉर्फोलॉजिकली मतलब दिखने में सेम है. They look very much similar. Fine. Those are going to be structurally similar. सिर्फ दिखने में ही नहीं तो internal structurally भी वो same है. And physiologically also similar. Physiology, what is physiology? Does anyone know the meaning of physiology? Physiology क्या होता है बेटा? नहीं? Give a try, give a try. जो आ रहा है वो क्या लग रहा है? Very good Tanushree. Yes, yes. Habit. Yes, yes. Not physically बच्चा. Physically का मतलब अलग होता है. ये physiologically मतलब habit. Habit मतलब उनका न्यूट्रिशन क्या है, उनका मेटाबॉलिज्म कैसा है, एक हैबिट होती है, राइट? या सो दैट इज गोइंग टू बी फिजियोलॉजिकली सिमिलर. वेरी गुड. या सो when all the three things are going to be similar, then we call such type of gametes as homogametes. While we have got heterogametes, heterogametes मतलब इनका उल्टा. They are of course not morphologically similar, not even structurally similar, and not even physiologically similar. The best example is we all. The spermatozoa and the oogonium are very different, right? Spermatozoa जो होते हैं, how are they are going to be motile. They are going to be motile, right? And their structure is completely different. It has got a head, it has got a neck, then it has got a small collar, then it has got a middle piece, and it has got a tail. ये human spermatozoa का structure है. On the other hand, what is the structure of the ova? Ova is nothing, it is just singular large cell. It's quite larger than the spermatozoa. बहुत ज़्यादा large है spermatozoa से the ova or the egg. Okay, या ovonium as we call it. Ovum कहते हैं singular में. So they are two very different. They are not at all showing any similarities. So such type of gametes are going to be called as heterogametes. In heterogametes, the male gamete is going to be called as antherzoid. Generally, in case of plants, we use this, or we call it as spermatozoa in case of animals, or it's also abbreviated as sperms. Okay. But what it would be? Are they structurally, physiologically similar? Are sperms and eggs similar, my dear? There's a question in the chat box, so I'm asking that student that, so if it is not, then what it would be? Will it be homo or will it be hetero? अगर सेम नहीं है तो
hetero.
Yes, it is hetero. Very good. Okay. So when there is similarity, only then we call it as homo. Otherwise we call it as hetero. Okay. So humans जो होते हैं वो heterogametes बनाते हैं. Heterogametes बनाते हैं मतलब मेल का गैमीट का स्ट्रक्चर अलग, फीमेल के गैमीट का स्ट्रक्चर अलग. ठीक है? Okay. And in human female, it's going to be called as ovum. Generally, we call it as ovum only. If the parent body is haploid, अब ये पॉइंट को आपको थोड़ा सा नहीं समझेगा तो प्लीज वापस पूछ लेना. हाँ. If the parent body is haploid, gametes are formed by mitosis, and if the parent body is diploid, the gametes are formed by meiosis. अब देखिएगा ये पॉइंट को मैं आपको कैसे, मतलब you only will answer this question because actually I love to interact with students, so एक सिंपल वाला क्वेश्चन पूछती हूँ. जो हैप्लॉइड पेरेंट्स होते हैं, पेरेंट बॉडी जिसकी हैप्लॉइड है, किसकी हैप्लॉइड होती है? अब भी हमने देखी है एक स्लाइड पहले. हु आर हैविंग हैप्लॉइड बॉडी? कम ऑन. हमने 3 एग्जांपल्स अभी ऊपर देखे थे ये स्लाइड के पहले. नहीं, दे आर होमोसेक्सुअल्स एक्चुअली। ओके, बट हमने अभी अभी कुछ
अमीबा,
प्लांट्स के नाम देखे थे, देखो 3। हाँ हाँ,
अमीबा,
अमीबा नो, हैप्लॉइड हैप्लॉइड हैप्लॉइड।
Monera.
Very good, very good. Just now we saw na, we saw Monera. Then what did we see? Who is haploid?
Algae, fungi.
Algae. Very good, very good. Algae and fungi. Very good बेटा, बिल्कुल सही बोला है आपने. Yeah, Tanushree, even you have given right answer. Sonali has given right answer. Very good, very good. Right. So algae, bryophytes. हमने अभी अभी देखे ना ये words. Monera, algae, bryophytes. To some extent, yes. Fungi also. They all are haploid. मतलब क्या हो गया? They have got only one set of chromosomes. Agreed. अब वन सेल में जितने क्रोमोसोम्स है, फॉर एग्जांपल अपनी बात लेते हैं, ह्यूमंस की बात लेते हैं, बिकॉज वी नो हाउ मेनी क्रोमोसोम्स आर देयर इन अस, राइट? वी हैव गॉट 46 क्रोमोसोम एज डिप्लॉयड, तो हमारा हैप्लॉइड नंबर कितना होगा? 46 का हाफ, तो 23, राइट? नाउ कैन 23 क्रोमोसोम्स बी डिवाइडेड इक्वली इनटू 4 न्यू सेल्स एज कंप्लीट नंबर? की पॉइंट्स में आएगा आंसर बच्चा? पॉइंट्स में आएगा. अब मुझे एक बात बोलो कि ये जो पॉइंट्स में आंसर आ रहा है, ऐसा क्रोमोसोम कभी टूट सकता है क्या इनटू पीसेस? कैन इट ब्रेक इनटू 2 2 3 3 4 4 पीसेस? इज इट वायबल? इज इट feasible for a chromosome to break into pieces and get distributed equally? No, it's not possible. तो 23 जो हैप्लॉइड नंबर है, उसको अगर हमने मियोसिस के थ्रू अंडरगो करने के लिए सोचा, तो व्हाट विल हैपन? द आंसर वुड बी इन पॉइंट्स. और पॉइंट्स मतलब क्रोमोसोम टूट रहा है. अगर क्रोमोसोम टूट गया ना, तो बहुत बड़े बड़े घपले हो जाते हैं, बहुत बड़े बड़े चेंजेस हो जाते हैं, उसको म्यूटेशंस कहते हैं. तो ये म्यूटेशंस होना इज नॉट अ गुड थिंग. So what will happen then? If we divide it by 4, all the 4 gametes would be mutated, abnormal. Agreed? So in that case, it is not possible for a haploid organism to undergo meiosis. This is what we understood. And therefore, to continue with perpetuation, it has to make its gametes by mitosis. समझ में आ गई बात? तो अभी क्या हो जाएगा? 23 + 23, अगर एक के 2 सेल बने, तो दोनों जो सेल्स है will have 23 chromosomes. When they'll fuse together, they'll form 46 chromosome. बराबर है? अब ये जो 46 क्रोमोसोम बने हैं, ये जाइगोट के हैं. This is the new organism who is actually going to develop eventually, है ना? तो ये जो जाइगोट है वो 46 है, बट पेरेंट के पास कितने थे? 23 थे. तो अभी द ऑफस्प्रिंग के पास अगर 46 क्रोमोसोम आ जाएंगे, तो वो एलियन बन जाएगा ना बेटा. आप अपनी बात कीजिए. थिंक ऑफ योरसेल्फ एंड योर पेरेंट्स एंड योर ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स एंड देयर पेरेंट्स. इमेजिन अगर आपके ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स के पास 46 क्रोमोसोम्स है, और अगर मियोसिस नहीं होता था, तो क्या हो जाता था? या आई विल एक्सप्लेन बच्चा, आई विल एक्सप्लेन. मुझे पता है ये वाला पॉइंट है ना, इसलिए मैंने आपको वही बोला कि प्लीज पे अटेंशन टू whatever I'm saying, and I'm sure that
it would get multiplied by the generation.
yes. So क्या हो रहा है ना बेटा इसमें कि नंबर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम्स हमेशा डबल होते जाएंगे ना, तो एलियन स्पीशीज पैदा हो जाएंगे. तो अभी भी ऐसा ही हुआ है. See what has happened now? The parent is having only 23 chromosome, right? And the offspring, if it gets 46 chromosome, then it will be an alien species. तो ये जो जाइगोट है, जिसके पास अभी 46 क्रोमोसोम्स है, राइट? इट विल अंडरगो मियोसिस देन. ओके, ये वाले मियोसिस को वी कॉल इट एज जाइगोटिक मियोसिस. क्या नाम है? Zygotic meiosis. Zygotic मतलब the zygote will undergo meiosis in haploid organisms like algae, like bryophyta, like monera. ये जो अभी हमने एग्जांपल्स लिए हैं बच्चा, ये सारे के सारे हैप्लॉइड्स हैं. बराबर? अभी आप 23 का भी आप टेंशन मत लो, बिकॉज वो आप ह्यूमन बीइंग्स के साथ कंपेयर करोगे तो आपका कंफ्यूजन बढ़ेगा. लेट अस टेक इट अनदर वे. Okay, let us go a few slides before, where you had actually answered me this question. Yeah, this one. Okay, look over here. Okay, क्रोमोसोम नंबर इन गैमीट्स, ये जो है ओके, ये गैमीट्स के नंबर है। बट हम इसके ऊपर आते हैं। हाँ चल, ये देखो, ये डिप्लॉयड ऑर्गेनिज्म है तो ये 34 हो गया, तो ये 17 हो गया, ये आपने मुझे आंसर दिए थे। बट देर आर ऑर्गेनिजम्स लाइक एल्गे, bryophytes, who have got 13 chromosomes, who have got 11 chromosomes. So 11 chromosomes plus 11 chromosomes will become the zygote to make up 22. Correct? 11 plus 11 will make up
Yes.
22. Now this 22 is an alien species from their parent. Parent के पास कितना है? Parent के पास 11 है. दोनों parent के पास 11 ही है. तो मेरे पास 23 आ गया, मतलब I am not the type of my parent. I am something different. So what will happen in that eye? उसमें क्या हो जाएगा? वो offspring में क्या हो जाएगा? The zygote, instead of getting converted into a fetus, will break down by the process of meiosis to form haploid condition again. तो 4 डॉटर सेल्स बनेंगे। meiosis का प्रोडक्ट क्या बोला था मैंने आपको लास्ट क्लास में? meiosis will give us 4 haploid daughter cells. Do you remember that? So now this 22 chromosomes वाला जो zygote है, it will get divided into 4 daughter cells, each containing 11 chromosomes. So now don't you think this 11 daughter cells will exactly resemble, will be exactly the same number of chromosomes like their parents? Parents के पास भी 11 है और ये daughter cells में भी अभी 11 आ गए. So to make that particular thing possible, the process called as zygotic meiosis takes place. Have you all followed this? समझा है तो हाँ बोलो, नहीं समझा है तो ना बोलो, मैं और आपको एग्जांपल देकर समझाऊंगी, बट हाँ हाँ आ गया करके निग्लेक्ट मत करना, बिकॉज आपके 2 साल बायो के ये फेनोमेना के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है बच्चा. 2 years are going to be actually based on this phenomena. If there is any difficulty, any problem, don't feel shy. Please don't feel shy to clear your doubts. It's okay, and you are not the only one कि आप no बोलोगे. Sure, all of you all have understood. ठीक है, चलिए, तो मैंने क्या बॉटम लाइन दिया? एग्जैक्टली दैट इज व्हाट माय डियर, आई वांट लिटिल, यस यस, दैट इज व्हाट आई वांट कि जिसको नहीं समझा है प्लीज पूछो. देखो आपने एक मेरा ऑब्जर्वेशन देखा है कि नहीं, आई डोंट नो. देयर आर सर्टेन क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आर डिफिकल्टीज और डाउट्स, आई डोंट टेक योर नेम्स. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं किसी का नाम लेके बोल रही हूँ तुझे डाउट है. हाँ, आपका अगर सही जवाब है तो मैं बिल्कुल बोलती हूँ हाँ बेटा आपका सही जवाब है. सो प्लीज डोंट वरी. If you have got a difficulty, you ask me. Okay? Yeah. One more time. Just quickly, I'm briefing you all with whatever I have said till now. देखो, simple बात कर रही हूँ मैं आप, बिल्कुल simple कर रही हूँ. ठीक है? आपके पास 11 चॉकलेट्स हैं. कितने चॉकलेट्स हैं आपके पास? 11 चॉकलेट्स. आपके 2 फ्रेंड्स हैं. आपके 2 फ्रेंड्स. आपको दोनों फ्रेंड्स को ये इक्वल शेयर करना है. बराबर, दोनों फ्रेंड्स में आपको इक्वल शेयर करना है. तो अब प्रॉब्लम क्या हो गई? आप 5.5 करके तो नहीं दे सकते हो. यू हैव टू गिव अ फुल चॉकलेट. इक्लेयर की अगर मैं बात करती हूँ, यू हैव गॉट 11 इक्लेयर चॉकलेट्स एंड देयर आर 2 फ्रेंड्स. आई नो अ पर्सन लाइक मी विल से चॉकलेट खत्म हो गए, घर जा. जिसको चॉकलेट पसंद है उसकी बात है भाई, लेकिन ये मैं एग्जांपल इसलिए दे रही हूँ ताकि हमें ये समझ में आ जाए. ओके, सो 11 chocolates are going to be distributed equally among 2 is very very difficult, right? So what you do, आप क्या करोगे? आप और 11 chocolates लेके आओगे, बेस्ट चीज. बराबर, और फिर आपने 11 chocolates आपके एक फ्रेंड को दे दिए, 11 chocolates आपके दूसरे फ्रेंड को दे दिए. ये सिंपल है साहब, ताकि झगड़ा झगड़ी ना हो. There should not be a problem. Both of your friends are equally loved by you. That will be a proof. Correct? So when you want to distribute it equally and you don't have the possibility of sharing it equally, then the best thing is what? To double it. Agreed? Agreed? तो आपने 22 बनाए. अभी 22 बनाने के बाद आपने 11 आपके फ्रेंड्स को दे दी. बात खत्म इधर. ये सिंपल है. ये समझ में आ गई बात? एग्जैक्टली लाइक दैट बेटा. ये जो क्रोमोसोम नंबर होता है इन सर्टेन हैप्लॉइड ऑर्गेनिजम्स, लाइक वन ऑफ द algae has got 11 क्रोमोसोम्स. Now 11 क्रोमोसोम्स को दो सेल्स में डिवाइड करना इज इम्पॉसिबल. 5.5 तोड़ नहीं सकते है ना वो. यू कैन नॉट ब्रेक द क्रोमोसोम स्ट्रक्चर. सो बेस्ट थिंग क्या हो जाएगा कि एक 11 ये बंदे ने दिया, दूसरा 11 दूसरे बंदे ने दिया, 22 हो गए. सो वन गैमीट will get doubled, right? Doubling हो गया, 22 हो गए. Now this 22 can be equally distributed. Agreed? But by the rule of meiosis क्या होता है बेटा? हाँ, तो ये जो 22 एक साथ आ गए ना एक बक्से में, that structure would be called as zygote in our language. Any problem? Any difficulty in understanding up till here? चॉकलेट्स बोलेंगे तो मेरे हिसाब से सबको समझ में आने वाली बात होती है वो. So still any difficulty till how 22 have come up in one box? Got it now? Yes, very good. So now these 22, once they are collected together, they can be equally distributed as 11 and 11. Agreed? But according to meiosis, हमने लास्ट क्लास में क्या बोला था? ये कुछ तो जादू होती है कि ये डिवाइडेड बाय 4 हो जाते हैं. तो ये जादू नहीं है. ये क्या है वो हम बहुत ही जल्द समझेंगे in the chapter called as cell cycle and cell division. In that we'll be doing it. that वो 4 में कैसे डिवाइड होता है वो मैं आपको बताऊंगी तब. ठीक है. तो एनीवेज एज ऑफ नाउ क्या हुआ समझा? ये डबल हो गए. अब ये डबल होने के बाद इट बिकम्स इजी फॉर शेयरिंग. सो नाउ दैट बॉक्स के अंदर जितने हैं दे वुड बी शेयर्ड इनटू 2 for chocolates but 4 for gametes है ना, या 4 for the individuals. So in this way when the zygote will undergo meiosis, we call this process as zygotic meiosis. And now it will get that total 22 will be equally distributed as 11 11 11 and 11. Okay, so logically क्या हो जाएगा? they'll be distributed as 11 in 4. अब आपके माइंड में आएगा मैम आपने तो 22 बोला है और अभी आप 44 बोल रहे हो, कुछ गड़बड़ है क्या? बच्चा कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं है. ये 44 कैसे हुए हैं? ये जादू नहीं है, ये एक बिल्कुल ही साइंटिफिक प्रोसेस है जो हम आगे देखने वाले हैं डिटेल में. ठीक है. Did you all understand this very well? Is there any difficulty now in understanding? और ये जादू क्यों नहीं है? चलो शॉर्ट में वो भी बता देती. डेयरी मिल्क के चॉकलेट्स आते हैं. एवरीवन ऑफ अस ईट डेयरी मिल्क चॉकलेट. देखो मेरा आज आके है ना वो खाने के एग्जांपल्स देना मेरा फेवरेट चीज है बिकॉज वी ऑल लव फूड एंड चॉकलेट्स आर समथिंग लाइक एटलीस्ट आई कांट से नो टू अ चॉकलेट है ना. तो इसलिए मैं डेयरी मिल्क पे आ गई. चलिए डेयरी मिल्क का चॉकलेट है. व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? यू टेक 1 bar. In that 1 bar you have got something called as 6 in नहीं 8 ना, वो भी याद नहीं है. मैं तो अब पूरा का पूरा ही खा लेती हूँ. ओके. No my dear, it is not related to Punnett square beta. It is not related to Punnett square at all as of now no. Okay, just understand. Suppose there are 10 chocolates के pieces जो squares होते हैं ना वो 10 होते हैं. इमेजिन कर दो. तो 5 एक रो में है, 5 दूसरे रो में है. ठीक है. ऐसे 10 पीसेस है आपके एक चोकोबार में. ठीक है, बराबर है. अब क्या हो गया? आपने और एक चॉकलेट बार लाया. उसमें भी कितने हैं? अभी बार तो 2 ही है ना. यू हैव गॉट ओनली 2 चॉकलेट बार्स. बट हाउ मेनी पीसेस नाउ? 20 pieces. 2 chocolate bars but 20 pieces. समझ में आ गई बात? So now आप क्या कर सकते हो? 5 piece, 5 piece, 5 piece, 5 piece. बात खत्म. Your meiosis is something like that way. When I say 11 are going to be the single, that one entire bar, okay, which will actually have 22 pieces. You get one more bar of 11 which will also have what? 22 pieces. So logically आपके पास 44 पहले से ही है. जब जाइगोट बनेगा तो 44 ऑलरेडी पहले से है. हाँ, बस उसको फिर अभी 5 5 5 5 में डिवाइड करना है. as simple as that. कवरिंग कितने हैं बेटा? as a bar you have got only 2 bars, but internally as pieces you have got 10 pieces and 10 pieces, so you have got 20 pieces. समझे? समथिंग लाइक दैट, ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर नोट हमें आगे जाना है. Okay, so please understand that meiosis is going to give us 4 daughter cells, each containing haploid number of chromosomes. Whatever would be the haploid number, उतना उसमें आ जाता है. तो हमारा अगर haploid number 23 है, तो हमारे में 4 gametes बनते हैं, each containing 23 chromosomes. Is it okay? Now any difficulty still? So if the parent body is haploid, the gametes are going to be formed by mitosis, that is by cell division, normal cell division. And if the parents are diploid, then the gametes are formed by meiosis. ठीक है, ये सेंटेंस बहुत क्रूशियल है आपके स्लाइड का. समझा है कि नहीं समझा है? अभी भी अगर डाउट है तो प्लीज आस्क मी. I won't go just for the completion of the topic. I want all of you all to understand whatever is being told to you all. Any difficulty still? हाँ तो हाँ, ना तो ना, कुछ तो आंसर दो भाई मुझे. लेट मी अंडरस्टैंड कि मुझे आगे जाना है कि नहीं जाना है. एनीवन else who is having any difficulty? So bottom line क्या हो गई हमारी? What is the bottom line of our discussion? If the parent body is haploid, मतलब single set of chromosome है, then first it will make a double set. Correct? That would form a zygote. Then the zygote will break up into 4 pieces to resemble the parent. See, the offspring has to exactly resemble the parent with respect to number of chromosomes. Okay? Yeah. In this I have explained meiosis. About mitosis. Mitosis is nothing बच्चा. एक haploid के 2 sets बनाता है वो mitosis से. तो आपके पास एक चॉकलेट का सेट है, आप मार्केट जाके जो दूसरा लेके आओगे ना, यहाँ पर वैसे ही ये 1 set of gametes को 2 set of gametes बनाने के लिए the process would be mitosis. Okay, so these 2 sets of mitosis would come together and they'll form a zygote. Did you get it? The product of the mitosis would be double now. So these two will come together. So 11 was there as haploid gamete. It underwent mitosis to make one more cell of 11. Now this 11 and 11, they merged together, they fused together, and on fusion they formed a zygote which was 22. And after it became 22, it was different from the parent, and therefore to resemble the parent, it had to undergo the process of meiosis. And by meiosis, again the chromosome number was restored to 11. So now this resembled the parent, which was also 11. Okay, so ये जो सारा का सारा मगजमारी हमने अभी जो डिस्कस किया या जो भी हो रहा है, it is for what? It is just for resembling your parents. Resembling your parents in the sense, not with respect to features, my dear, with respect to the number of chromosomes. Okay, it should not vary. If the number of chromosomes varies, then there are certain deformities, there are certain like we call it as syndromes that are clearly seen. You might have heard about this Klinefelter syndrome. सुना है आपने Klinefelter के बारे में?
Yes.
हाँ, Klinefelter syndrome is nothing but in those organisms or in those people, human beings in fact, they have got 1 chromosome extra. So instead of 46 chromosomes now, they have got 47 chromosomes. मतलब they have got 44 autosomes and they have got XXY. So you cannot call them as females also because they have got 1 Y. And you cannot call them as males also because they have got 2 X's. तो ये जो होते हैं ना, इनको हम इनक्स कहते हैं, जो रोड पे तालियां बजा के जो पैसे मांगते हैं ना लोगों के पास से, that people. Okay, those people are a victim of Klinefelter syndrome. तो एक क्रोमोसोम एक्स्ट्रा आया तो देखो कितना प्रॉब्लम हो गया. They look more like females, but their voice is like males, and they are strong, statured like males, but they resemble in so many aspects. They resemble like females. तो एक क्रोमोसोम भी कम ज्यादा हो जाता है ना बच्चा, तो इतना प्रॉब्लम होता है. तो इसीलिए we should have the same number of chromosomes as that of our parents. इसके लिए ये सब हो रहा है. क्या हो रहा है? Meiosis, mitosis, zygotic meiosis, जो भी हमने डिस्कस किया, it is just to keep uniformity between the offspring and the parent. Is it fine? Clear? हमारे में क्या होता है बेटा? We all are diploids. Human beings are diploids. तो हमारे में क्या होता है? हमारे में meiosis से gametes बनते हैं. हमारे में meiosis से gametes बनते हैं. Fine? और हमारा meiosis का जो gamete है वो haploid है और zygote बनेगा as 46 and that will resemble like the parent. We all are 46. The zygote is also 46. So it did not go meiosis immediately. It will undergo mitosis. It will form a fetus. The fetus will get converted into, it will form an embryo. Embryo will get converted into a fetus. A fetus then will be, growing in size and will be, by the process of parturition, it will come into this world as the offspring, as a child, as a neonat, right? तो वो जो बच्चा अभी अभी पैदा हुआ है उसमें तुरंत तो मियोसिस स्टार्ट नहीं होगा, राइट? कुछ साल जाएंगे, it will take its own time. So in females we call that तब तक जब तक वो मियोसिस अंडरगो नहीं कर सकती है, तो वो जो टाइम पीरियड होता है that is going to be actually the time when the kids are called as kids, males or females. And in females then there would be a time called as menarche. Menarche would be that particular time when the menstrual cycle will begin and meiosis will initiate again. And in males that particular time is called as puberty, during which the spermatogenesis will restart, rather start. Okay, so that particular time तक meiosis नहीं होता है हमारे bodies में, और जब meiosis होने लगता है it is going to be only specific to the gonads, that is the areas where these gametes are going to be formed. Okay, so that particular happens in human beings. So an organism may be homothallic, monoecious, or heterothallic or dioecious, which we have already seen in the previous slide. So you understand how the gametogenesis takes place. The gametogenesis will take place by mitosis in haploid organisms, and it will take by meiosis in diploid organisms. So this is the very first and most important step of pre-fertilization change. Okay? Then we go to the next one, that is gamete transfer. For the fusion of the male and female gamete, it has to be transferred. Otherwise, fertilization is not possible. So fusion of male and female gamete is called as fertilization. So male and female gamete must be brought together. In some organisms, both gametes are motile, as in case of algae. Majority of the algae, they have got motile gametes, majority of them. Okay, so there is not a problem for them to actually come together. But in most of the organisms, the male gamete is motile, but the female gamete is not motile. Fine. So then they require some medium for the transfer of the gametes. They require some medium. What would be the medium? See, algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, for all these plants, water is the medium for gamete transfer. So through the water, the algae will liberate their gametes, through which then they would reach the female. Even the same case happens in bryophytes as well as in pteridophytes. So they require a medium. So here the medium is going to be water. Now this is a famous question that is generally asked in your competitive exams, that water is the medium for transfer of gametes in. So your answer is going to be algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes. Also, if you know, in frogs also, the eggs are laid in the water, and even the spermatozoa are laid in the water, and there's a fertilization that will take place in water medium. Okay, so even that is an example. Anyways, right now we are talking about the plants. Okay, so pollination is the method of gamete transfer in which higher plants are involved. So here we use the word pollination. Okay, so pollination is something that is associated with gamete transfer in plant body. You might have heard about this word pollination in your school days, I'm sure. So what is pollination? Transfer of male gamete onto the female gamete by different agents like wind, water, insects. ये आपने सुना है ना? तो ये जो मेथड है उसको हम कहते हैं pollination. So pollination is the method of gamete transfer in higher plants. That is going to be from one plant to another. The number of male gametes are 1,000 times the number of female gametes, as there is a loss of male gametes during transfer. Yeah, there is a lot of waste of gametes. Lot of male gametes would be wasted in the transit, and therefore they have to be produced in large number because there is a chance fertilization that would take place. अब आप imagine करो कि wind blow हो रही है, okay? अब ये wind में mango के pollen grains है, mango के pollen grains है. Yes, Tanushree, you are right. Transfer of pollen from anther to stigma. Very nice. तो यहाँ पर मेरा वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है? Is my voice breaking for everyone?
No, teacher.
No.
हाँ.
No.
No, na? Yeah, because I don't find this is going fine. Anyways, so what I was talking about? Pollen grains. Imagine that suppose the wind is carrying the pollen grains of mango flower. ठीक है? And it by chance ना, कुछ ऐसे कह नहीं सकते, wind को तो कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. So it might deposit the pollen grains of mango flower onto the stigma of papaya flower. In that case, is it of any use? Will the fertilization occur? Never. These two are two different plants. So it will be rejected, it will be a waste. So there is a lot of wastage during the transfer or during the pollination event that takes place. And only for that reason, the pollen grains are going to be formed much more in number. Much more. Okay? So this particular thing, please remember that the number of male gametes produced are always greater than the female gametes, okay, because of loss. Yes, bacha, same, very right. In dioecious animals, there is a special mechanism for gamete transfer. For dioecious animals, there is a special mechanism for gamete transfer. That is, of course, with the help of agents, different agents, okay. Fine. So that is pre-fertilization event. Two things, gametogenesis and gamete transfer, we have seen under pre-fertilization. The second one is going to be syngamy and fertilization. Now, what do you mean by the word syngamy? Syn का मतलब होता है coming together. It is SYN, not SIN. SYN का मतलब होता है coming together. Coming together of whom? Gametes. So it is syngamy. So when the two gametes are brought together, that's going to be called as syngamy. And that bringing of the two gametes together would ensure that they fuse. And thus the fusion of this is going to be called as fertilization. So syngamy results in the formation of diploid zygote by the process of fertilization. You can see on your screen very clearly the sperm, which is going to be shown motile. The egg is quite larger as compared to the sperm size, and it is non-motile and it is stagnant. We call it as stagnant. And eventually what has formed? The zygote has been formed. And if you look at the zygote is also non-motile. Okay, that is your 2n condition. So the spermatozoa contains haploid number of chromosomes. So imagine 23 chromosomes in the sperm, 23 chromosomes in the egg, and 46 chromosomes in the zygote. Okay. Now in this zygote which has been formed has got two possibilities. What is that possibility? That if it is a diploid organism, then this zygote will undergo mitosis. It will go on increasing. एक के 2 सेल बनेंगे, 2 के 4 बनेंगे, 4 के 8 बनेंगे, करते करते embryo form हो जाएगा, right? एम्ब्रियो अल्टीमेटली फीटस के फॉर्म में डेवलप हो जाएगा, जो हमारे केस में होता है। ऑन द अदर हैंड हमने हैप्लॉइड ऑर्गेनिजम्स के बारे में देखा, तो अगर ये हैप्लॉइड ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं तो द जाइगोट विल अंडरगो मियोसिस टू फॉर्म 4 हैप्लॉइड सेल्स। ठीक है, सो ये जनरल है, बट जाइगोट इज ऑलवेज डिप्लॉयड। प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस थंब रूल, ये बोल्ड में लिख के रखना बेटा, दैट गैमीट्स आर ऑलवेज हैप्लॉइड एंड जाइगोट इज ऑलवेज डिप्लॉयड। ये आप, ये थंब रूल है, ठीक है, इसको आपको, you cannot change this, right? So this is the way the things are going to progress. In some animals, see now they are talking about some animals like rotifers, honeybees, some lizards, birds like turkey. Female gametes develop into organisms without fertilization. Such type of a phenomena is called as parthenogenesis. Yes, this is something which is, you might have heard of also this word. In plants भी ये हो जाता है कि actually दो gametes जो है ना fuse होते ही नहीं है. They don't fuse only to become 2n. Okay, but without fertilization also a new organism is produced. ये process को हम कहते हैं parthenogenesis. Okay, so in case of rotifers, honeybees, some lizards, ये phenomena दिखाई दिया है कि without the actual fertilization, the organism will still develop. As in case of honeybees, तो आपको पता है there are 3 different types of honeybees. One would be the queen honeybee, the other would be the worker honeybee, and the third would be the drones. These are the 3 categories of honeybees, है ना? तो ये जो drones होते हैं वो males है. Drones are the males. They will make sperms. Okay, so that is going to be called as drones. तो ये जो drones है, हाँ नहीं, it is different. Cloning is different बेटा, and this is different. Our parthenogenesis is different. So ये जो drones होते हैं ना, ये drones sperms produce करते हैं, और ये जो sperms produce करने वाले drones जो होते हैं, they are diploid. Okay, on the other hand, if you talk about the worker honeybees, they are haploid. They cannot actually make eggs. And queen जो है, queen is also a female, worker is also a female, but queen is the only female which is capable of making eggs. तो ये जो तीनों है, ये तीनों का एक ब्यूटीफुल साइकिल है कि ये कैसे रिप्रोड्यूस करते हैं और कैसे ऑर्गेनिजम्स बनते हैं. ये इसका पूरा एक साइकिल है, आपके 12th के सिलेबस में है, which I'll be going ahead with. Okay, yeah, there's a question that is asked that ma'am, what are rotifers? अरे rotifers नहीं पता, they are small microscopic pseudocoelomates है ये. They are pseudocoelomates. Pseudocoelomates मतलब उनमें actual true body cavity नहीं होती है, तो छोटे होते हैं, माइक्रोस्कोपिक होते हैं. तो rotifers invertebrates में आते हैं. They come under invertebrates. They do not have a vertebral column. Okay, they are invertebrates. They are generally found in water bodies only. उसका एग्जाम्पल शायद आपको पता होगा कि नहीं, मुझे नहीं मालूम, बट बेलोडिया एक एग्जाम्पल है, मोनोगोनोटा एक और एग्जाम्पल है, बट दे आर जस्ट वेरी स्मॉल माइक्रोस्कोपिक एनिमल्स ऑफ वाटर बॉडीज. ओके, उसको हम रोटीफर्स कहते हैं. So this is a phenomena which is going to be called as parthenogenesis. Without actual fertilization, organism जब develop होता है, वो phenomena को in animals we call it as parthenogenesis, and in plants it is called as parthenocarpy. So parthenogenesis and parthenocarpy are almost similar events but taking place in animals and plants respectively. ठीक है, हाँ, मतलब what you are saying, it is similar to cloning. That way you are perfectly right with respect to the genetic makeup. There will be exact replicas of the parents. I do agree, my dear, but the process is a bit different. इसमें क्या होता है ना, cloning में क्या होता है बेटा, एक के 2 कॉपीज बन जाते हैं, 2 के 4 कॉपीज बन जाते हैं, दैट इज क्लोनिंग, लाइक योर लाइक दे रिजेंबल देयर पेरेंट्स। इसमें क्या होता है ना, द बॉडी सेल्स विच आर 2n, the body cells which are 2n, body cells which are 2n, they feel that they are a product of fertilization। वो खुद को है ना, वो खुद को डिप्लॉयड समझते हैं एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ फर्टिलाइजेशन, तो वो खुद को जाइगोट समझने लगते हैं। है कौन? है तो बॉडी सेल्स, है तो सोमैटिक सेल्स। लेकिन ये सोमैटिक सेल्स होने के बावजूद इनको वो क्या अज्यूम कर लेते हैं कि हम तो जाइगोट है, और अकॉर्डिंगली वो बिहेव करते हैं। ये प्रोसेस को कहते हैं पार्थेनोजेनेसिस। okay, they feel that they are diploids, but they are not the diploids because of fusion of male and female gametes. These are the normal somatic cells, these are the normal body cells, and all of a sudden they feel that no, we are zygotes, and accordingly उनमें changes होते जाते हैं और नया ऑर्गेनिज्म प्रोड्यूस हो जाता है। समझा बच्चा? हाँ, तो क्लोनिंग मतलब वो जेनेटिकली बिल्कुल अपने पेरेंट के जैसे, बिकॉज सोमैटिक सेल से डेवलप हुए हैं। ठीक है, so this is syngamy and fertilization। okay, well, then we go to the next one, that's going to be nothing but types of fertilization। so you are going to talk about basically two types, one is going to be the external fertilization and the other is going to be the internal fertilization। so what do you mean by the word external fertilization? In this type of fusion, the male and the female gamete occurs outside the body in water medium। occurs का मतलब होता है बेटा, they will be liberated। so the male gametes also would be liberated in water and the female gametes also would be liberated in water। okay, and in the water these gametes would fuse। such type of fertilization is going to be called as external fertilization। example, aquatic organisms like algae, fish, frog, majority of the amphibians show such type of fertilization, that is external। so what is happening, see, यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है, मेल गैमीट भी वाटर में आया, फीमेल गैमीट भी वाटर में आया, और वाटर में फर्टिलाइजेशन हुआ, इट इज नॉट टेकिंग प्लेस इनसाइड द बॉडी ऑफ द फीमेल, देयरफॉर वी कॉल इट एज एक्सटर्नल। agreed? What are the disadvantages? The organism produce, they have to produce, I mean, a large number of gametes, and of course it's going to be a waste eventually. The predators are generally going to destroy the eggs, or even if they hatch out, even if the fertilization takes place, then too the offsprings which are going to be produced are going to be eaten away by the predators। predator का मतलब क्या होता है, जो किल करके दूसरे को खाता है ना, उसको हम कहते हैं प्रीडेटर। तो यहाँ पर ये जो ऑफस्प्रिंग्स बने हैं ये ऑर्गेनिजम्स के, लाइक एल्गे है, फिश है, एम्फीबियंस है, ये जब छोटे हैं, व्हेन दे आर ग्रोइंग, दैट टाइम ओनली दे विल बी ईटन अवे बाय द प्रीडेटर्स। सो दिस इज वन मोर डिसएडवांटेज। The survivability rate of the offsprings to adult is very very less। so like you may have seen, इसको हम spawn कहते हैं। we call this a spawn of eggs। lot of eggs, thousands of eggs are going to be laid, but out of which actual maturity तक जाने वाले कुछ 5-6 ही बच जाते हैं, बाकी सारे के सारे जो है वो डिस्ट्रॉय हो गए, मे बी एज गैमीट्स डिस्ट्रॉय हो गए, या फिर फर्टिलाइज होने के तुरंत बाद डिस्ट्रॉय हो गए, या ड्यूरिंग द ग्रोइंग पीरियड डिस्ट्रॉय हो गए। so their survivability rate is going to be very less। okay, so that is a disadvantage of external fertilization। okay, then we talk about something that is internal fertilization। in this fertilization, the fusion of male and female gamete occurs inside the female body। of course, it's an example of majority of the mammals also। of course, we all mammals are going to have this particular capacity, but in case of plants also, we have got certain plants like gymnosperms and angiosperms which make seeds। seed bearing plants जो है ना, इनमें ये हमेशा होता है। क्या होता है इनमें? it will be responsible for causing the fusion of male and female gametes in the female, body, right? got it? तो ये जो है इसको हम इंटरनल फर्टिलाइजेशन के नाम से जानते हैं. External fertilization is by chance, beta. The male gamete comes in contact with the female gamete in the water body and they'll fuse. Okay, it's by chance. It's not going to be sure shot mechanism of fertilization. Therefore, they require water. और वाटर में जब ये एग्स भी ले हो जाएंगे और स्पर्म्स भी ले हो जाएंगे, तो द स्पर्म्स they might come in contact with the eggs and that might lead to the external fertilization. Okay, got it? And that is the reason that they are not safeguarded. They are not safeguarded. In case of internal fertilization, क्या हो रहा है? The offspring is well safeguarded in the womb of the mother. So the chances of its survival is going to be very high. But for external fertilization, the chance is very, very low. है ना? So इसीलिए वो frog, fish, इनके जो species है ना, ये frogs देखिए, अगर बारिश का season है, only that time you can see the frogs, otherwise no. And during that, that is also called as the brooding season. We feel that the frog is croaking for because we feel हाँ अभी frog की आवाज आ रही है, मतलब अभी बारिश होगी. Actually, it's a signal that is given to the females to lay the eggs in the water body, because now the rains are, you know, almost going to approach, and therefore we have to be ready for perpetuation of species. Is what is the signal? So that croaking is actually, you know, a signal for the females. Only males croak. Okay. Yeah. What is the question, my dear? That if colons of different plant of some species are put onto stigma of each other, will the plant from the seeds so form their mutual qualities? No, my dear. There is something called as this is done artificially. Naturally, this will never happen. In the natural condition, na, it will be rejected if it is not of the same species. Okay, different plant of same species. Okay, okay. The pollens of different plants of same species. Yeah, if they are of the same species and they are put onto the stigma of each other, will the plant from the seed so form bear mutual qualities? Yes, then they will bear the mutual qualities. Of course, if they are of the same species, sure, that's for sure. Okay, that is the reason that you get sometimes, you know, like what we say, a good yield, or we say a good quality yield sometimes. It is because of this. Yeah, good, good. Very nice question, beta. Very nice question. So if it is of the same species, yes, but if it is of the different species, then it is artificially done. ठीक है, चलो. तो ये जिम्नोस्पर्म्स और एंजियोस्पर्म्स जो होते हैं ना, ये इंटरनल फर्टिलाइजेशन दिखाते हैं. एल्गे, yeah, anyone you want to say something? You have raised your hand.
Teacher,
Yeah.
teacher, I have a hibiscus plant at my home. So कभी कभी उस पे एक फ्लावर आता है जिसमें it is a combination of white and red, and sometimes it is dark red and light red. So how is that how does that happen on same plant?
See, what happens is, you know, there is something called as hormonal control as well, which is going to play a very important role. There are 5 phytohormones that take the charge of such factors. Now, because of the expression of one particular hormone, which would be predominantly for that particular time, would result into one type. On the other hand, if that hormone is not that, you know, expressive, or it is not formed in that good amount that day, then it is going to show some variation. So it is going to be the hormonal control that is going to be very important in such type of cases. Okay, and of course, it's going to be the plant which you have got at your house now is going to be something called as your hybrid. Originally, it's going to be a hybrid. It's going to have two things merged together. But the genetic control is going to be, of course, mixture of both. But the hormonal control will decide that which color is going to be specifically predominantly, you know, seen. This you will be seeing in the chapter of genetics, that how this is going to happen. I'll be telling you this. I'll be teaching you this in detail, that how this happens and why this happens. We'll go into the details of this that time. So definitely that is because of the hormonal control that is going to be taken into consideration. See, there are, you know, some flowers which are red in color, some flowers which are white in color, and a combination of them will give you even a pink colored flower sometimes. Okay, but that doesn't mean that the red and white have become extinct. They are still there. So that is going to be the reason of, you know, this type of different variations, different color roses because of same factor. Yeah, factor in the sense, here also I would say that it depends on the genetic makeup. What is the genetic makeup of that particular variety? Here we call about the word variety. So the species remains the same, but you have got different variety. Like mango is mango, but mango, so many different varieties you have got in mango. See, I mean, I just hate mangoes. I really don't like mangoes, so I'm not a very good, critic about it. But at least in my house, I've seen people, like they get Alfonso mangoes, then they get Kesher mangoes, Badami, और पता नहीं क्या क्या लेके आते हैं अलग अलग. अब मैंगो तो मैंगो है बच्चा, बट उसके वैरायटीज कितने सारे हैं, है ना. तो ये जो वैरायटीज है ना, ये वैरायटीज आर डिपेंडेंट अपॉन सर्टेन फैक्टर्स, अपॉन सर्टेन हार्मोनल एंड जेनेटिक वेरिएशंस. तो दैट इज द रीजन वी गेट सो मेनी वैरायटीज. राइस के भी कितने सारे वैरायटीज है, मैंगो के कितने सारे वैरायटीज है. मतलब these are the things which we are generally aware of, है ना. So that is because of these factors like genetic makeup or hormonal control that are going to be expressive. Okay, like dominant recessive combined genes, yeah, very much similar to that, very much similar to that. Okay, there are so many different types of things that we be seeing in genetics. So that time you will come to know that there is something called as हटके phenomena. तो ये जो हटके phenomena है ना, वो पूरा genetics में हम पढ़ेंगे. Yeah, does the climate also affect? Of course, of course, of course. Climatic effect तो बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. Of course, that is one of the most crucial ones. Not only climate, the water conditions, the nutrient supply, everything has to be optimum. Only then the conditions are going to be, like we call them as favorable conditions or we call them as suitable conditions. तब हम कहते हैं. Okay, yeah. So here you can see, ये वाला प्लांट आपने देखा, ये नारियल का नहीं है बच्चा. दिस इज नॉट नारियल का प्लांट. ये इसको ना साइकस कहते हैं हम. आपके बाजू में बिल्डिंग के इधर उधर कहीं तो देखा होगा, छोटे छोटे नारियल के जैसे दिखते हैं, बट दे आर वेरी शॉर्ट इन साइज. और ये देखिए, लुक ओवर हियर, ये जो है ना, ये वाला, दैट इज दे आर गोइंग टू हैव लाइक स्केल लीफ बोलते हैं उसको. ऐसे स्केल्स के जैसे उनके ना बार्क पे प्रेजेंट होता है. दीज आर द साइकस प्लांट्स. And this is the male cycus and this is the female cycus. Okay, this is the male. इस ये एक plant है, ये cycus plants are dioecious. So one plant will have only the male and the other plant will have only the female. तो ये है ना, zoom किया है हमने, और zoom करके हमने ये male cycus का ये जो male cone है ना, वो capture किया है. This is called as the male cone. और ये जो है ना, this is called as the female cone of cycus. Look at it. Look at the vegetative part. ये leaf और ये leaf बिल्कुल same है. The plant is the same, but this is a male plant जो left side पे खड़ा है, और ये है female plant जो right side पे खड़ा है. तो ये वाले को हम कहते हैं female cone, और ये वाले को हम कहते हैं male cone. So what will happen? The male will liberate pollen grains. The pollen grains will go and they'll be, germinating inside the female cone. This is the female cone. Okay, and they will make seeds. And these seeds, wherever they fall, of course, they are capable of germination. Okay, yeah. What you have heard that in some organisms, temperature decides the gender. Yes, of course. That is what I told you. In genetics, we are going to talk about all these things. There are examples of turtles. There are examples of crocodiles, wherein the temperature will decide that whether it should be a male turtle or a female turtle, whether it should be a male crocodile or a female crocodile. And not only temperature, there are certain examples where you will be actually, shocked to know. For example, the example of that organism is Bonellia. It's a worm. In that, if a male worm is going to safeguard the eggs, then the offspring would be the female. And if a female worm is going to safeguard the eggs, then the offspring would be male. ऐसे भी phenomena है. ऐसे बहुत सारे interesting phenomena हमें आगे देखने हैं. Not only with animals, with so many different organisms है ना, ये होता है बच्चा. Yeah, nature is complicated. That's true, and we are trying to explore that nature itself, and it's interesting as well. I mean, we never think ना कि temperature कुछ मायने रखेगा, कि turtle बनाना है तो male turtle इसके वजह से, female turtle इसके वजह से. और see, look at even, like who is the one who is taking care of the eggs would decide the sex of the organisms, very beautiful mechanisms in fact. तो मतलब एक्चुअली मैं बोलूँ ना कि ये जो बायो के जो चैप्टर्स होते हैं ना, ये मोर ऑफ इंटरेस्टिंग वाली चीजें बहुत निकल आती है इसमें. So very interesting ना to know all these things. So yeah, we'll talk about all of them eventually, है ना. धीरे धीरे ये सब कुछ हमें एक्सप्लोर करना है, जितना हो सके उतना हम एक्सप्लोर करते जाना है, right? Okay. So this is about the terrestrial animals also. They show internal fertilization. ठीक है. Okay. This is the way the zygote is going to be formed. The fusion of the haploid male and the female gamete results in the formation of diploid zygote. In fungi and algae, the zygote form will have the presence of a cell wall. And the presence of cell wall is going to help the organism to resist the unfavorable conditions. And when the favorable conditions are going to be restored, उसके बाद they can germinate and form into an individual. तो ये सेल वॉल का जो फॉर्मेशन ये फंगस और एल्गे में जनरली दिखाई देता है. तो अगर कंडीशंस फेवरेबल नहीं है ना, स्टिल दे कैन सस्टेन एंड सर्वाइव in the form of a secluded environment, a safeguarded environment. उनके ऊपर एक thick cell wall develop हो जाती है. Fine. ये तो meiosis, mitosis का ये sexual और asexual reproduction के examples यहाँ पर बताए गए हैं. So in sexual reproduction क्या होता है देखो, see over here, this is the male, this is the spore. The spore is liberating the organisms. These organisms are aggregating, they are coming together, it is forming your male gamete and the female gamete. A zygote is going to be formed. The zygote will get a covering. See, this covering will be called as zygospore because the conditions are not favorable, and once the condition becomes favorable, they are going to mature. Okay. एसेक्सुअल में भी कुछ ऐसे ही हो रहा है, लेकिन यहाँ पर जहाँ मियोसिस लिखा है, यहाँ पर माइटोसिस लिखा है. दैट्स द ओनली डिफरेंस. इधर जाइगोट में मियोसिस होगा, इसलिए हम इसको जाइगोटिक मियोसिस कहेंगे इन केस ऑफ एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन, व्हिच वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड प्रीवियसली. फाइन. So don't worry too much about this. We'll do many times. We are going to do this eventually. Types of fertilization के clear cut distinguish between. I have made this because this comes for 2 marks in your examination. So please, you will have to write down both the points. First is for the external fertilization, syngamy occurs outside the body of the organism. In internal fertilization, syngamy occurs inside the body of the organism. In external fertilization, large number of gametes, that is the male and female gametes, are released into the surrounding medium. Example, bony fish and amphibians. In internal fertilization, the number of ova are going to be less, but of course they're going to have large number of male gametes. Example, birds, mammals, earthworms. Okay? So this is the way the 2 points need to be added in your board exams ke marks ke liye. Fine? Okay. Now we go to types of animals, oviparous and viviparous. You all know the meaning of them. Animals lay fertilized or unfertilized egg. That is, egg laying animals को हम oviparous कहते हैं, and the individuals which directly give birth to the other individuals would be called as viviparous. One question to all of you, a simple question but a question. The egg that people eat, जो hen का egg या chicken का egg जो हम कहते हैं, वो जो लोग खाते हैं या हम खाते हैं, that egg, is it a fertilized egg or is it an unfertilized egg?
Unfertilized.
Unfertilized. All of you? Anyone who is going to be of the opinion कि नहीं, that egg is a fertilized egg? ऐसा कोई है बेटा यहाँ पर?
But it can be fertilized, though it is unfertilized. It can be fertilized later.
So when will it get fertilized? After it will be laid outside, it will get fertilized, or कैसा है मतलब?
Before the formation of the egg, it is fertilized. मतलब egg is formed after the fertilization.
हाँ, egg is formed. Then what will happen, beta? Yes.
First the fertilization takes place, and later maybe the egg is formed.
Very good. Who is this? Who gave this answer? What's your name?
Ayush Shingare.
अरे आयुष, एकदम बरोबर. Perfect answer. Very good बच्चा. Perfect answer है ये. See, this is the thing. Majority of us हमें क्या लगता है ना कि एग जब ले करती है hen, उसके बाद फर्टिलाइजेशन होता है, ये हमारा मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग है बच्चा. Please understand. The egg is going to have calcareous covering or calcareous shell. Calcareous matlab it's going to have a calcium ka shell on it. So during fertilization, it is impossible to break open the cell and then fertilize it. So the fertilization takes place prior to its laying. Before the egg is laid, which egg I'm talking about? The hen's egg, the chicken egg जो हम बात कर रहे हैं वो, it is laid only after fertilization, and that is the reason, you know, sometimes I don't know if you have seen this, but sometimes while cooking, अगर वो egg जो है ना, वो अगर ज्यादा पुराना हो जाता है, तो you can actually see an embryo partially formed in that yolk region. वो जो yolk region होता है ना, येलो कलर का जो, उसमें है ना कभी कभी एम्ब्रियो फॉर्मेशन दिखाई देता है. ओके, सो इट्स अ प्री फर्टिलाइज्ड एग. सो उसमें आप देखिए एनिमल्स ले फर्टिलाइज और अनफर्टिलाइज. तो जो फर्टिलाइज्ड एग होते हैं ना बच्चा, दे ऑल आर गोइंग टू बी द वंस व्हिच आर एग्जांपल ऑफ कोर्स इज द हेन्स एग, ऑस्ट्रिच एग. जो बर्ड्स के एग्स होते हैं ना, बर्ड्स के एग्स, वो जनरली फर्टिलाइज्ड होते हैं. अनफर्टिलाइज्ड एग्स वुड बी गिवन बाय फ्रॉग्स. Unfertilized eggs would be given by fish. They'll give unfertilized eggs. So external fertilization जो होता है, that takes place of unfertilized eggs. While internal fertilization जो होता है, that will be your fertilized eggs would be given out. So oviparous means egg form होता है, no doubt. बट उसमें दो कैटेगरीज है. एक है फर्टिलाइज्ड एग ले करना और दूसरा है अनफर्टिलाइज्ड एग ले करना. Okay, so you are right, beta, that frogs are oviparous, but which type of oviparity they will show? Unfertilized egg oviparity, while the birds will show fertilized egg oviparity. Clear now? So see, the eggs have calcareous shell to protect them from the harsh environment. In viviparous organisms like we all, there won't be any formation of shell. They are well protected in the mother's body, that is in the womb of the mother. They are well protected, so there is no need for any shell in our case. Okay, in viviparous. Something, yeah, this is what I wanted to actually, you know, ask you all. Okay, now lastly we come to post-fertilization events. The event after zygote formation is going to be called as post-fertilization events. Zygote development depends on, what does it depend on? First, type of life cycle of an organism. मतलब अगर ऑर्गेनिज्म हैप्लॉइड है तो जाइगोट विल गिव राइज टू meiosis and 4 haploids would be formed. If the parent is diploid, then the zygote will undergo mitosis to form embryo and fetus. ये एक फर्स्ट कंडीशन है zygote डेवलपमेंट की. दूसरा, the environment it is exposed to. This is very important. ओके, अगर एनवायरनमेंट जो है वो फेवरेबल नहीं है, कंडीशंस अच्छे नहीं है, देन द लाइफ ऑफ जाइगोट इज एट स्टेक. So in algae and fungi, it develops a thick wall around it to resist desiccation and damage and undergoes a period of rest. Desiccation मतलब सूख जाना, dry होना. So it resists drying up. Desiccated coconut मिलता है ना हमें, dried coconut. Okay, so desiccation is drying. So it will resist the drying up of it. Okay, so because of this thick wall formation. Organism showing haplontic life cycle, zygote undergoes meiosis, that is what I just now said, while the organism showing diplontic life cycle undergoes mitosis. The zygote develops into an embryo. Fine, तो ये post fertilization के ये events है, that is zygote बनने के बाद क्या होता है. Have you all followed this? After embryo, how does embryo formation actually takes place? So embryogenesis involves cell division, that is mitosis, cell enlargement and growth. The cells which are formed will eventually grow in size, and cell differentiation, that is the grown cells will ultimately attain a permanent shape, size, function. So the cell, when it attains a permanent shape, when it attains a permanent size, and when it attains a permanent function, such type of cell is called as differentiated cell. So what do you mean by cell differentiation? Cell differentiation का मतलब होता है for the cell to become mature, it has to undergo certain permanent changes. That is, it will attain a permanent shape, permanent size, and permanent function. That is called as differentiation. My dears, please don't forget this differentiation word. It is very important because आगे 2 साल आपको ये words continuously आते रहेंगे. तब आप ऐसे क्वेश्चन मार्क मोड पे रहेंगे ना, ये डिफरेंशिएशन क्या होता है, तो फिर लफड़े हो जाएंगे. तो प्लीज रिमेंबर, डिफरेंशिएशन का मतलब क्या होता है? टू अटेन अ परमानेंट शेप, साइज, फंक्शन. Fine. In oviparous animals, zygote development occurs outside of the female body, and therefore it is going to be then going to lay the eggs. Example, reptiles and birds. In development, मैं zygote development बोल रही हूँ, मैं fertilization की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ birds के लिए. देखो zygote development जो है वो बाहर हो रहा है ना, body के बाहर हो रहा है, ठीक है. In viviparous animals, zygote development occurs inside the female's body, and they give birth to the young ones directly to the individuals. Example, all mammals. In plants, zygote is formed inside the ovule, where it develops into an embryo. The ovule becomes the seed, and the ovary gets converted into a fruit. आप जो भी fruit खा रहे हो ना, whatever fruit you are eating, you are going to eat a ripened ovary. A fruit is nothing but ripened ovary, and the seed is nothing but a ripened ovule. ये याद रखना बच्चा. आज के बाद जो भी फ्रूट खाओगे ना, वो क्या होगा? राइपेंड ओवरी है. और जो आप सीड निकाल के फेंक देते हो या खा लेते हो, that is going to be the ripened or fertilized ovule, as we call it. Fine. After zygote formation, in this case they have shown this is brinjal. तो generally क्या होता है? After the zygote formation, the sepals, petals and the stamen of the flowers are going to fall off. But in some plants like tomato and brinjal, the sepals persist with fruit. ये देखो, ये आपको green color का crown दिखाई दे रहा है ना? You can see this crown. ये देखो. Yes, this crown is nothing but they are the sepals. They are the green colored base of the flower. यहाँ पर अगर आप देख सकते हो, यहाँ पर देखो, ये इसमें सेपल्स आपको क्लियरली दिखाई देंगे. सो सेपल्स जो है वो फ्लावर का बेस होता है. एज एंड व्हेन फर्टिलाइजेशन होके आगे की जो डेवलपमेंट होती है, उसमें ये जो सेपल्स है ना, ये झड़ जाते हैं, दे विल फॉल डाउन. बट इन केस ऑफ ब्रिंजल एंड टमेटोज के ऊपर भी आपने देखा होगा ना, कभी कभी एक ग्रीन कलर का क्राउन होता है उनके सिर पे. So that is going to be the persistent sepals, as we call them. The zygote develops into an embryo, and the ovule develops into seed. The ovary develops into a fruit. Fruit के wall को हम pericarp कहते हैं. क्या कहते हैं? Pericarp. That is the wall of the fruits. छिलका. ठीक है? So in this way, the post-fertilization changes takes place, and finally, what has happened now? Again, the fruits which have been formed have got seeds in them, and therefore again the seeds can be dispersed, and the same process can be again and again repeated. That is, perpetuation of species would be carried out continuously. Is it fine? So this we complete as a chapter called as reproduction in organisms. ये एक generalized chapter था बच्चा. जनरल था. ये जनरल मैंने क्यों पहले स्टार्ट किया? बिकॉज द सेकंड चैप्टर दैट आई एम स्टार्टिंग इज ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन. एंड ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन को समझने के लिए इसमें से बहुत सारी कुछ बेसिक चीजें वो पहले समझनी है. आई डायरेक्टली कैन नॉट मूव ऑन टू दैट, इसलिए ये वाला चैप्टर मैंने आज कंप्लीट किया है. बट एनी प्रॉब्लम्स, एनी डिफिकल्टीज, एनीथिंग दैट यू हैव नॉट फॉलोड टिल हियर, देन ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन चैप्टर. So any problems, my dears? Anyone who has not followed anything, please do let me know. है कोई doubt?
No, miss.
समझा ना? Okay, good. Now what I'll do is, ये जो अपना chapter है, ये जो मैंने PPT ready किया हुआ है, of course I'll send this to you all so that you can start studying from here. This has been taken from NCERT textbook, as well as some part has been taken from the government textbook that the government is going to, take examination on. Okay, I'll explain it to you. One more time I'll explain this to you. Don't worry. And I've also taken last 20 years के papers में जो extra content है जो आपके books में नहीं है ना बेटा, वो भी मैंने इसमें डाल दिया है. So ये on and on ये पूरा का पूरा chapter है. आपको एक भी दूसरा कहीं का book refer करके कुछ मतलब tension लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. You just study from these slides and you're done with the chapter for your exam. आप कोई भी एग्जाम ये चैप्टर ये यहाँ से जो मेरे स्लाइड्स है वहां से आप लर्न करके समझ के आप आराम से कोई भी एग्जाम पूरे 100 मार्क्स से क्लियर कर सकते हो. फाइन. या दिस स्लाइड यू हैव नॉट अंडरस्टूड. इट्स वेरी सिंपल बच्चा. इफ यू कैन सी दिस इज अ फ्लावर. ये फ्लावर है. ओके इसमें ये सारे है. इसमें क्या क्या है. इफ यू कैन सी व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स आर देयर ओवर हियर. सी हियर यू कैन सी द सेपल्स. ये ग्रीन कलर के सेपल्स है. राइट. यहाँ पर पेटल्स है. ये जो है these are the stamens which are the male reproductive structures. ये जो green में है ना ये वाला this is the carpel or the pistil, that is the female reproductive structures. Fine. Now what happens after pollination, that is male and female gametes का इधर fusion होगा. This is the ovule over here. center पे इधर ovule होता है. अब क्या होता है ना बेटा, ये फर्टिलाइजेशन होने के बाद आफ्टर द फर्टिलाइजेशन हैज टेकन प्लेस तो क्या होगा. व्हाट विल हैपन that time the fruit formation will begin and also the seed formation will begin. Okay. Fine. Because of net connection you couldn't understand. No problem. It will be for all of you. Don't worry. Okay. And what will happen then, the fertilization will take place. Male and female gametes का fertilization होने के बाद the resultant would be a zygote. Right. Zygote will eventually grow up and it will form a seed. The ovule will get converted into a seed. On the other hand, the ovary which is holding the ovule will get converted into a fruit. तो यहाँ पर अगर आप देखते हो, in some plants, see, after zygote formation, the sepals, petals and stamens of the flowers will fall off. तो ये जो भी ये flower में structures है, they all will fall off. But in some plants like tomato and brinjal, the sepals are persistent. Persistent means they'll remain as it is, they'll not fall off. So you can see this green color ka structure over here, that is the sepals. They are persistent. Even on tomatoes sometimes you can see that green color ka crown present on it. So that is the persistent sepals. The sepals are persistent with the fruit. The zygote develops into an embryo. The ovule develops into the seed and the ovary develops into the fruit. Into bracket I have written pericarp. Pericarp का मतलब होता है fruit का wall. The walls of fruit are called as pericarp together. So what are the different names of that pericarp also हमें detailing करना है in our coming chapters. But as of now we complete this chapter of reproduction in organisms. Next time when we meet, we'll be going ahead with human reproduction. Human reproduction chapter has got very good weightage in your board exams as well as in your competitive exams, as well as in all the exams that you're going to give with respect to 11th and 12th syllabus. Like KVPY मैंने आपको बताया था starting में, even that is going to have a very good weightage for human reproduction chapter. And as my habit, I'll be doing it completely in detail. Many more things you would come to know which are not there in any of your books directly printed, but still you will come to know many important facts. So from the next lecture onwards, I'll be going ahead with one of the most important weightage wise chapter, that is human repro. Fine. So I hope now majority of you all have understood whatever I have explained, and I'll share this presentation with you all eventually. Okay, so that you can study from you. Any more doubts, any more queries, or shall we wind up? Anyone who is having a problem in understanding anything, please let me know, my dears. Got it? All of you all? Pakka?
Yes.
Very good. Acha. So, who has raised hand? Bacha, who has raised hand? Yeah, please go ahead. What do you want to speak? Anyone wants to speak anything? No? Okay, fine. Chalo. Then we'll wind up for today and see you all. Arey, I had not kept my video on. Arey re, पहले बोलना चाहिए था. Anyways, चलो ठीक है. So yeah, fine. Now this is over, chapter is over. But still, if you have got any doubts, please, you are free to tell me. Sure, my dear, why not? Just a minute, I'll send you. Okay, so we'll wind up for today. Thank you so much for being with me, and sorry for starting the lecture a bit late because of some net connectivity with Zoom. Otherwise, all my other activity was going good, but there was some connectivity issue with the Zoom app. I don't know. Anyways, so I end the meeting for all of us, and see you soon with the new chapter. Okay. And even if during that time, if you have got any doubts, please feel free to talk to me and ask me. No problem. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये खत्म हो गया, अभी नया chapter start हो गया. How can I ask her? Nothing like that way. Anytime your doubts are welcome, my dears. Okay, I'll feel very good and I feel happy to clear all your queries. Okay, चलो. Bye. See you all. Enjoy your lunch. Lunch time हो गया है ना? भूख लगी होगी. Enjoy. Bye.
Thank you,
Take
teacher.
care.
Bye, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Bye.